From the ACCUSTATS Arena at Caesars, Southern Indiana, it's the 2023 Derby City Classic and the 24th edition of the Pocket Billiards All-Around Championship. Thank you, everybody. Thanks very much. This is Pool's most exciting event, and it's being brought to you by Diamond Billiard Products, by Simonis Cloth, and by Aramis. And we thank them very much for their support over all the years of this great event. We also want to recognize our great associate sponsors from Outsville and Master Chalk, and give a big shout out to our great tournament direction team from Bad Boys Billiards Productions. Once again, our thanks to the Caesars Southern Indiana for being great hosts for well over a decade, and thanks to all of you for your support as being part of the DCC family. All right, let's move ahead in continuing in the one pocket division, still in round 5. 429 players began. I think we're just around 100 players or thereabouts, so let's get underway. From Tampa, Florida, this gentleman's a former Southern Classic One Pocket champion, a former member of Mosconi Cup for Team USA, sponsored by Pool Dues Bar out of Morgan City, Louisiana. Please welcome Hollywood, it's Justin Hall. His opponent from Phoenix, he's a former Derby City One Pocket champion, US Open One Pocket champion, and he is a member of the One Pocket Hall of Fame, sponsored by Royalty Core, KT Custom Cues, and Mohawk Metal. Please welcome the freezer, Scott Frost. All right, we're going to send it up to the comm box to the A team. That means Mark Wilson and Double J. Take it away.
It is go time now for these players competing in one pocket, as we have two players that specialize in this discipline. I'm Mark Wilson, and joining me now is the best in the business, Jeremy Jones. Double J, this is a dynamic contest.
Yeah, it certainly is. A couple of the guys that are fan favorites, of course, right here at the Derby for sure, just because very entertaining players at this game. They know the game very well, and two of the guys kind of vying for this one pocket title. Justin Hall, of course, a guy who runs deep in the banks a lot. Great 9-ball player. Scott's the same. But this is the kind of the game they've won most of their titles at, both guys.
Justin Hall cracks me up. The most loose guy ever. His brother's been here for an hour, but Justin rolled in 5 minutes before the match. He's sponsored by a bar in Louisiana.
Yeah.
In the announcement. I mean, how do you not love that?
Yeah, a little Cajun town down there, and just a little south of New Orleans, Morgan City. Scott Frost to break. Usually one of the better breakers in the game, and I know that sounds crazy for one pocket, but just very effective. It seems like, he may have left a 2-ball bank here to get started for Justin, but usually very effective with the break. And guys will say that the TV table is kind of like, it could break real well, but sometimes it's very touchy to break on also because it's so slick.
One rail kick to hit the 12-ball heavy and try to throttle the cue ball up into the 9. Didn't quite get there.
Yeah,
so he's going to be disappointed with that.
Did he leave him the 2? I mean,
well, it's not. I don't think it's a cross corner.
Yeah, but anything on the 2, the kick on the 2, banking the 2 back into the pile. I think he may have a cross corner on the 2. It's close. Otherwise, it may be the kick shot. The kick lays real nice, Mark, just because you're kind of sitting face on, and anything on the top side of the 2 goes right into the pile.
And this is really the essence of power one pocket right here. Well, he didn't. Oh, the kick.
But,
okay, yeah, great.
Really was, though. You notice he didn't baby it because he wanted to get more out of the cue ball, opening more balls. That was definitely not to hit the 2 any better. Just to get a little more speed off the 2 to wiggle a few more open. So Justin in a very touchy situation to start. He's going to have to kick underneath this 2-ball. I might kick all the way underneath the 9 2 rails to the bottom of the 9. And the reason why I say that,
he did it as you called it. Didn't get a rail, but great effort.
Well, what happens if you can come higher, It's just going to always be harder for him to get you back into the stack if you can come higher with the cue ball.
Yeah. Now to go 2 cushions off the 2 ball, the problem with that shot, you can get the cue ball to the stack, but the problem is you got to move the 2 ball up table.
Absolutely right, Mark. And that's the effect of Justin's shot, or when you're getting out of the break. You don't mind getting put back in the pack as long as they're having to graze balls and nick balls and move those balls a little further away from their pocket. It's just a little exchange, and I might take the foul here. He's not even going to get in the stack, which is real smart. Because what happens with the stack, it leaves that kick back on the 9, right? Which right here it does too. He was trying to get a little higher with the cue ball.
But very heady play, and now he may have a kick at the 2 when Justin gets done with this. I'm just saying if he desires. I'm not saying that's absolutely, but
no, absolutely. He's got more options, right?
Right.
And the reason why I said the foul, sometimes you want to take the foul and just see what your opponent wants to do. Now, you can tell that Justin's in a good frame of mind, because if you take the foul into the stack, he's going to kick you back underneath the 9. So this is where you may look around a little more. I don't like off the 2 much myself, but it's not terrible. All right, that has a lot of speed. He wants it to slow down a little bit. Now, both these guys, very dangerous players, know a lot of kiss shots. Of course, Justin, one of the better bankers in the world. Scott can hold his own in that regard.
Yeah, you probably have to give the edge in banking to Justin Hall, but only by a smidgen, and maybe some of the execution pretty close, their shot-making accuracy. Both super experienced one-pocket players.
Now, if he aims towards the 6, one thing I could be figuring is a kiss shot on the 5, but I don't think you're going to see that. Yeah, this is a little funny to float off of.
Yeah.
I wonder what the 8 looks like. You don't want to leave that kick on the 8 either. Those balls lay nice to kick at, especially even if you're just going to do it with a lighter speed.
The stunning down table.
Yeah, this is touchy.
Okay.
Ooh, look at this.
What a shot, but off the 7.
Yeah, the 7 totally replaced the 3 if we get a look at that. He went down table because everything was doubled up. Now, he didn't want to leave him the 9-2. He was trying to leave him the 1-9-2. But he was worried about the 3, and interesting enough, the 7 just stayed there. I hope we get a replay at that, because you don't see that very often. It's kind of a neat shot to look at.
Here it is. Here it is here.
You see the 3 kind of sells out, right? But you hit it dead in the face.
Now, you will play a shot like that simply because it's so awkward and difficult. Your back's against the wall.
Very smart shot there.
Jay Hall, good shot.
Taking care of a problem, right? And getting the ball on his side. That shot alone, unless the kick on the 8, which I said was probably okay, because you're going right into the 13, the 14's there as well. But if he doesn't kick at the 8, this could be a very long game, just because of that one shot right there.
Frost is kind of re-energized player. We haven't seen much of him in the last couple of years after being a stalwart here at the Derby. But he seems like he's getting his game together again.
Well, you know, for a guy that's not playing full-time, what Scott does is he kind of plans it out to where he's going to get in an event or two before the bigger ones he wants to play at. Now, a kick on the 9, probably just real light. This is okay as well.
Real nice speed.
Yeah, and Scott didn't. He was trying to promote, not too long of a game whenever he chipped the ball and went up to the end rail. He's looking at twice here on the bank on the 9, and when it's close to the rail like that, Mark.
Yeah.
And you're banking it twice. It's easy to not get the line and the speed on the cue ball. It kind of hooks a little bit because he's going to have to hit this fat. So, fat with high English can do some funny things.
Right.
See how it hooked there and it didn't want to go anywhere?
Yeah, it doesn't release. It really stiffens up when it's close to the rail.
Yeah, and it's more about just the cue ball speed itself in that shot. I mean, he was always going to kind of roam the 9, right? But
and just what you said, the topspin.
Slowed
made
it
the
down.
Cue ball, and look at it now. This is basically just right on the head string. You can't leave a good player.
No, he's supposed to shoot here. I mean, no doubt about it. Go forward for the 9. It must be a little awkwardly straight. The thing about that double bank on the 9, there's just kind of no room for error. Mm-hmm. Like if you hit the numbers on the stroke, everything will get to the end rail, and but just not much room for error, especially on the slicker table. Oh, nice stroke there. And what I've always said about Justin, which I thought why he was such a good Mosconi Cup player, and I played bonus ball with him, is he really is very good at that one shot at a time when he's playing his best pool. Doesn't get in too much of a hurry, kind of composes himself real well. And that ball rolled up a little bit.
It did, yeah, yesterday too. That pocket ball rolls up just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't fire that one, trying to make sure he made it and get a little higher with the cue ball.
He definitely had a plan, though, because he's just too good of a player to not know. I mean, it's not like he just floats balls for no reason.
Right. Maybe the 7-11-8 was shootable. I was just going to edge this. It's always scary with those shots. Not really too much worry about a scratch, but what happens in the stack when you kind of touch the balls.
Mm-hmm.
As we get older, it gets even scarier.
Well, Frost is a master of that kicking into the stack and like that. That would be his strength, is making things happen towards his pocket.
And I think, there you go. Good call there, Mark. And Scott, really showed us what you were talking about there. Pretty much perfect execution.
Yeah, put some jeopardy over there right away, and safely so.
All the shots that guys shoot, the power shots and whatnot, watch out. If this cue ball gets up, that's a real good speed there. But he may twist the 11 back here, knowing the 112 may be shootable. I don't know about something in the stack.
Mm-hmm.
But all those power shots, for the most part, I really hadn't seen new ones, maybe variations. So that, all the older players knew those kind of shots and stuff like that. But the kick in the stack, I think, is the one thing that has become more potent in today's game in one pocket. And I think it's because Simona's cloth and the really good equipment. The balls open up nice, and you don't have to hit them very, very hard at all. That's going to be a little...
That's a nice hit.
Yeah.
Oh, not quite. But, boy, that could have been devastating. To go along with the same thing you were commenting on about the evolution of the spectrum of the game, back in the day, the guys were just willing to make one or two balls and play safe. But nowadays, you got to be more passive. Responses do not work at this level. Now you have to take some chances to create some offense. They've just become too skilled, and so I think that's just the tactical side has evolved.
No, and you kind of read my mind as far as I played a little bit last night, and I found myself, of course, when you don't play very much, this happens, but I found myself playing kind of worried a lot. And that's kind of something I kind of think you're leaning towards. You can't do that. You got to be willing to not worry and play.
Yeah.
Shoot a little bit more aggressively. Oh, nice stroke there.
Nice hit.
Oh, and he's going to get the 6 and the 15 open here. And the 3's there. So decisions, such a great banker. Maybe hard not to hold shape on the 3.
Well, I think he might even follow ahead because he may lightly dislodge the 12, get position on the 3. No, he's playing low. He's just going to put it in there. Yeah. As John Schmidt says, it's on layaway for Christmas.
Well, Scott's going to play I think anyways, he's going to survey the stack, but that 3 on top of the 6 sticking him up could be a very good shot. Speaking of John Schmidt, he's in a match at the moment, it looks like. the one pocket moving along.
Yeah, I was hoping that our tournament referee, Ken Schumann, would mention where we're at in the one pocket because I didn't have time to check and see exactly. But this has got to be a huge match. I watched the Feder Gorst and Jason Shaw one pocket match. Boy, that was good. Oh, look at this.
This guy's going to be like, how did I go through the pile there? I mean,
yeah.
Well, there's a lot of great ones right now. Roberto Gomez and John Schmidt, Conrad and Skyler. Like you said in the last round, Jason Shaw.
Filler was in the battle. We just watched Naoki Oi lose here to Martinez, I think it was.
Yeah, Mark Gerson. Yep. Martinez.
He played good.
Yeah, he's got to kick the 6, and he could do other things. And he's not that far behind in the score, but this kind of keeps his position. Oh, that might be long there. Yeah, he hit it too. I think he caught a little piece of it anyways.
No, he did. The 6-ball moved.
Yeah. So this is going to hurt, especially in a race to 3 on your opponent's break. Here's a replay of that. Cue ball went right through everything. They split just perfectly for the cue ball to open
brutal.
up.
You make a great shot.
Here you want to just slow draw one rail between the 8 and the 14. Yeah, just like that.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and now he can come up. I probably come up in. Does the 4 go? I probably come up into the 3. And don't try to just hit the 13. You could get on the 3 doing that. Yeah, you want to. He hit the 3 too full a little bit, but I think he gets the bridge here.
Well, it's doable, but thin.
Yeah, but he can cut it with a little inside and come all the way to the 12 with the cue ball. The 4 will go once the 8 is removed. This here, give it a little more effort trying to go into the 12. The 15-4 is a little scary combo for him to shoot back at, but I don't. You may see Scott. Well, he's a little elevated at this ball. The 15-4. I know it looks like a crazy shot, but down 5-2. If he wasn't elevated, Mark, I almost for sure think he shoots it.
Oh, I think he's going to shoot it anyway.
Man, hard hit when you're elevated.
I'm just saying knowing Scott's game. I think he wants to go here.
Yeah, is there anything else he has?
Unless you want to back cut bank the 13 or kick at the 11.
He's kicking the 8 soft with spin, trying to just get it out. Yeah, that's the shot, I think. All the balls are still down here. Mm-hmm. And that nice kick shot keeps Justin from removing balls firmly. When you're trying to come back, that's why it's so important to leave your opponent on the rail so they can't remove a lot of balls. They got to hit the ball soft, and that's a beauty there.
Great shot. Great shot.
Really good.
It's so subtle, that little shot, but it's so easy to get away from you to be able to lay that in there and crease. Look at it, it's pinned to the rail and got the 11's awkward.
Yeah, he's got to just come off the left side of the 1 and put him up in that corner as best he can.
Right.
Oh, he came off the 4. Okay, that's good. Nothing wrong with that. That'll open up some banks, hopefully, is what he's thinking. Soft kick on the 11 here. I don't know if you can drive through the 4 easily. I guess you can. You don't want that 4 clipping the 11 or following through with the cue ball in the pocket here. Yeah, he was really trying to guard against anything bad happening. And this 4 has gotten a little funny. Scott can't quite come across it without the point really being involved. It's kind of shot, believe it or not. You can kick underneath it and slide up the rail. He's going to try and draw across the point. So he's got to really control it. Oh, that's a nice hit.
That is.
Oh, this ball fading a little bit.
Oh, boy, that was a nice hit. Is right.
I thought he had enough draw on it at first. So with ball in hand now, what I thought could be a very long game looks like it's It's got a chance to be shortened up a little bit.
Jay Hall playing for 3 from here.
Yeah, and he's supposed to just get on the 2. I know it doesn't lead towards a third ball so easily, but don't get ahead of yourself.
Right.
You got to shoot the 15 and just slide over for the 2. Now the 1 does go. If you wanted to roll that, or maybe not. Looking at the overhead, maybe not, but I thought it did. Yeah, you don't want to overthink it. Just slide over.
Pretty good shot.
Yeah, very good.
Got on the 2 now. He can do something. He's going to be on the hill if he makes this 2. Then draw back.
And just since I've seen Justin here, I've got a different feeling that he's been trying to play more pool, trying to find his game again. Really talented player.
1-0, Justin Hall. When he was just a kid, him and Bergman used to come to my pool room. They were probably about 16 and play all the time and gambling and going on the road. And just the craziest duo. But Justin and Justin, pure killers when they were 16. It took a super player to beat them.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder because, I mean, St. Louis back in the day, there were a few bank players. Ricky Vanham played a little banks. Gary Lutman, of course, always liked banks. I'm trying to think.
Mark O'Brien.
Mark O'Brien, yeah. Mark, now police officer again, I think.
Retired.
Oh, he retired? Okay. Last time I saw him, he was with the force. But, I think about Justin Hall is like, and this happens with a lot of bank players that aren't from, like, the bank areas. Like, how do they become so great at banks? Like, what happened to him in St. Louis that made him become such a great bank player?
In Justin Hall's case, he could bank from
Day one?
from birth. I don't know. It's just like he has a feel. It's much like Skylar Woodward.
Right.
You know, Skylar, there's no Mosconi Cup guy that can even come close to competing with him other than Billy Thorpe.
Yeah.
In banks, there's no hope.
Yeah.
It's just remarkable and uncanny, and they just kind of have a feel. They have a knack. Their stroke lends itself to it. It's the most unusual thing. But
Well, Scott had to open the cue ball up here just because it was a very good break. So what do? This is where you got to inspect what's going to happen if you're going to bank the 10 back in these balls. I probably put them on the back of the 7 here. Bank the 10 away. I don't want to disrupt much right now, I don't think. I mean, you could float it across, too. There's really not a lot of things that say this is the worst shot or this is the better shot. Play the cue ball like that, you can't really ever fault it too much.
Right. He was able to, well, I don't think he can kick to hit the 4, but he was able to protect it.
Well, I think he got a little unlucky that nothing ended up closer to the pocket. So, Scott, this is more dangerous here. I thought he would come off the
9-ball with the cue ball.
Well, he wanted a ball on his side, right?
Yeah.
But I thought he should have taken his time there and come off the 8 and come underneath the 4 with the cue ball. If he plants them, that's a pretty easy shot to get underneath the 4. And if he does that, he's not going to have him in jail or anything, but he's going to get to where Justin can't do much. Justin playing very conservative.
But good.
Oh, yeah.
Productive shot.
Well, the thing is, when you have the advantage, right, find the easiest way to apply pressure. Don't take many chances. Okay. Again, he's got some options. 13, he can play a few different ways. Looks like he's going to put a little speed on this. Going into the 15 with the cue ball.
Yeah. Nice. Well done.
Yeah, that could have been even worse, too. I mean,
Right. It didn't turn out ideally for Justin, but he took a chance to really make some good things happen.
Well, when all these balls get open, as great at movers as there are in the game, it's hard to really protect against everything, especially when you're playing a guy that sees a lot of shots.
And plays a lot of one pocket, so he's very committed to his decisions.
Oh, he's cutting the 8. Wow. Now he could come off the 2, banking it across, and putting him underneath the 9 and the 11. Pretty easy shot. Falling through it a little bit with a little top English. You could clip the 2 as well.
Yeah, if he measured up the 8, but if you play that, you're betting the game on that shot.
Well, this is the first real opening to start getting out of the break right there, because he got balls on the side, a very secure shot at, If he gets him up on the 11-7 there, Scott may end up really kind of having the advantage.
I think he wants to pin this to the cushion.
Man.
Or is he going up behind the 8?
Well, he's hitting kind of downward.
Yeah.
To avoid the kiss going up behind the 8, you kind of have to hit a high left ball. If you draw kind of, you'll meet the 5 ball again, most likely if you're banking it across. I know it's an odd kiss, but this is what I would look at right here. The 7. Trying to go and use the 5 as a blocker. Ooh, look at this guy.
Very productive.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They see a lot of things when the balls get open.
J Hall is playing better than I've seen him play in recent times for sure.
Well, like I said, he's looking, he's assessing. It looks like he's trying to play better pool to me. Whether, I don't know how much time he spent doing it, but
he looks to be much more clear-headed.
Well,
Good shot.
We all occasionally like to have a cocktail here, right? But
yes, we all do.
Yeah. But I haven't seen much of that from Justin here as well. Really seen a guy that's trying to win. It's a little odd shot. I know you don't want to let him see the 6, just so he doesn't just clear balls away, but that's why you put him on the rail. So he can't really do it, we wanted to get not on the rail. But if you put him on the rail, he can move the 6, but he can't move it hard, really stick the ball. Now Scott's looking at an ugly 4-7 and saying, is there something I can do on this side rail because of that 4-7, the way it lays? Back the 10 into the 3 is about all I see there. All right, if you go into the 7, watch this ball coming back at you a little bit, this 7 ball off the 4. I'd be careful here. Yeah, that's a smart shot, leaving those.
And look at that cue ball pinned to the cushion, trying to restrict what Justin Hall can do. And Frost is kind of extracting himself from the break.
He didn't hit that one how he wanted. He did get him elevated a little bit to where moving the 9 or doing something off the 9 is very odd. May have to soft kick at the 5, and soft kick at the 7. And the reason why I say that is if you soft kick the 7, the 5's a double kiss. You can't do anything with it, really. He's going to play off the 6 coming down, trying to get another ball on his side. But here he left him a little angle on the 5. So we'll see if Justin can, produce something. And this is where he can be aggressive if he's got the right angle, trying to go all the way to the 13 with the cue ball 1 rail.
Oh, what a nice hit that was. And good call, Jeremy.
Trying to spin
big
up.
hit on the 13.
All right, the kick and stick on the 9 looks like it kind of cuts the 5 off, leaves it a double kiss. You could give him the 9 as well. Man, that was some risk. Got to remember that top English will creep on the newer felt. It's going to just try and float a little bit.
Yeah, this is really fun one pocket to watch because of these decisions right here are going to dictate the outcome of the match. It's not so much execution; it's much more the mental thought pattern that goes with getting results. Frosty doing a good job getting the cue ball pinned to the cushion yet a 4th or 5th time now.
Yeah, you're going to push pretty hard on the 9 here going forward, maybe into the 1 like that. Go ahead and remember, if you have a good contact on that second ball, go ahead and be aggressive with the cue ball moving forward. Take a little chance because it'll make everything a little more odd for Scott. The kick on the 7s, it's okay. What's he doing? I'm not sure what he's doing here. Yeah, I don't know about kind of winding up, and I don't see much to wind up at, Mark.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah, I think the kick.
There's no way he'd kick at the 3, so I don't know what he was thinking. Oh, is he taking the? Oh, he's just going soft speed. Oh, no rail.
He's going to 0-1.
I'm sure he's disappointed about that because that was not the place that you'd want to give up a ball if you could. You'd want it because it's pretty free.
Coming off the 7, it looks like. I was going to say, can he see this 6 ball? Because Jay Hall loves to twist the ball back with a lot of outside spin. That way he can hold the cue ball on Scott's side of the table. And he's got big blockers if he can get, the right stroke on the ball. I was going to say, I'd be surprised he doesn't shoot this. Big throw on the ball here.
A lot of good things can happen from this. Good speed.
Well, he's real good with that stroke with the cue ball, you see.
Yes. Yeah, great cue ball control from that twist, thin hit. Got to have the right amount of draw.
Yeah, and if he can't follow through the 4, which is always a little funny at this angle, looks like he's going to.
Looks like he can.
Okay.
Follow through it.
Watch it. Could come around for a bank. Oh, good speed, Scott. Good speed. Now, again, you push up, go through the 4 all the way to the 11 with the cue ball. All the balls are kind of toggled and kind of doubled up from there. Nothing easy.
You might be able to twist bank the 12, but it's not no value. You're going to give up your tactical advantage if you do that. And if you don't score it, then you can really get in trouble.
Yeah, if he could go to like the 11 with the cue ball to bank in the 12, that would definitely be justified. But
he wants to follow down to the 11. No, he didn't have it, so he took the shorter route there. Just get to the cushion.
Safer than going the 11 if it's not there, but not as much pressure put on Scott because he's closer to the balls. He can just clip one of the bottom sides. He may even play the 12 across. See? So that made little things easier on Scott by not going forward. Not quite as risky, I guess, but now I don't know if he can do much, really, without taking a chance himself. Especially if the 12-6 doesn't really play. You don't want to leave Scott to where he can bank at a ball or put something in play from one of those, what is that? 8 balls up the table, 9 balls up the table
on
there.
His side, too. Yeah.
Touchy little shot here. You got to be careful. Just going to shave it using the 12-6 as protection. Nothing banks.
No, good shot, good move. There's nothing more you could do, so it's a semi-passive response, but you still had to hit it pretty good. And not giving up something.
That's right. There was jeopardy in that shot if he lets it leak a little bit.
He's got Scott moving balls his direction.
Tell you what, watch out for the 13 off the 14 coming back at you towards Justin's pocket, especially drawn into the 3 and sticking the cue ball. I know that looks like a lot going on, but when it's laying nice, you can get a good speed and just drift the 13 over. He's going past the 3? Oh, he went into the 3.
He played the exact shot you said.
Yeah. I thought he would try to stick there, though. Like draw into the 3. That way he's on top of the 7. But
I think he did. He had the center ball get enough hit,
and it just went through it.
Well, it trimmed off the. He didn't quite land the square on the 3 as he was hoping. But I think that was because he had to get the proper hit on the 13 for it to come back. If he hits thicker, to go solid into the 3. Now the 13 doesn't come across as much was the dilemma.
Right, and he could leave a cross corner on the 7 doing so as well. So I think it was maybe a little touchy in that regard. All right, definitely going to go up into the corner with the cue ball, maybe edge one of these balls open doing so. Ooh, up in the trees almost. Did he hook him on the 12? That would make things very effective for that shot.
Well, I shouldn't say that. On the overhead, it looks like he did, but a lot of times in reality, the overhead's not as clear.
That's a good view there. The overhead is telling us that he's definitely snookered. So Scott's going to have to play off something close and kind of manufacture the cue ball down underneath. And the 4 looks okay, but it's not natural, though. He can't just run off of it. He's kind of got to draw off of it. And I'll tell you, any question mark here, you better be careful. Is he looking at the 15? Oh, he's looking at a double up to try and get the 15 by his pocket. Okay, pretty nice shot. Now, this is where things start getting interesting. Because with the 15 there, almost every ball up table is doubled up for Scott. So if Justin can play a bank from underneath, anything from underneath,
right,
with 3 balls on his side, he can apply a lot of pressure. Now, this is surprising to me, shooting at that. I would look at something like the 9 and say, just banking the 9 down, what can Scott really do from here? Not saying you're going to do that, but I would definitely look at it. Okay, the 3 must go. So he feels like he's going to roll this, put a little pressure on Scott.
And if you go down here with the 15, you give up some of your advantage tactically because now Scott can remove the 6. Okay. Well, this is going to be an interesting game now.
Yeah, it should be a long one, actually.
0 to -1 ball is the ball count. Frost is behind.
Scott, one of the best movers on the planet. I mean, really hard to say, give him a clear cut, but I think the entire game itself, when it just comes to moving, I do give Scott a little advantage, and that would be over most players, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if you can outmove Justin Hall, then it's going to be an advantage over anyone.
Yeah, and Justin moves great for sure and has that arsenal. All right, banking this, trying to get on another bank, maybe the 7 or the 15. We'll see. Looks pretty nice. Good stroke. Look at here.
Right out of the pocket, sold out of bank. He's certainly disappointed about that. He got the cue ball to thread down there nice. And Frost for sure wants to connect on this bank. This is a good enough bank. He may choose to play position like on the 4 or the 11. No, he held it up. Oh, and the 7 held it good. Ooh.
Yeah, he sure did.
I thought it was thinner than that.
He threw the heck out of it. And this is close. He's got to kind of smooth it up the table. I thought he could beat the scratch.
Oh, yeah. I feel confident just
ball.
looking here live that just effective high, but maybe not. He's definitely concerned about it. If he can play a high ball, then he can get on something else. If he has to draw, then you lose that. You're just playing for 1 ball here. Oh, I never dreamed that we were going to go power. Did he get anything?
No.
He didn't get anything straight in his pocket.
I don't know what the 112 looks like. I know it's a hard combination, but I'm just saying if you're so close, you might be able to lag and draw back.
Yeah.
The 315's kind of doubled up. The 10 doesn't go. The 15's in the way. And this is, in my opinion, some of the best moving when the balls get in the middle of the table. There's a lot of little things you can do, a lot of double ups. you start to really see a lot of different shots.
He's looking at playing the 9 ball off the 5 ball on the rail first, but it's not laying right for that.
I think he was just going to 2-rail it, actually, the 9. I think.
Yeah, well, then he has to go forward with the cue ball because the 11 goes to Justin Hall's pocket.
Well, can he hold him on the 13, you think? Maybe?
Maybe. I don't know if it gets
Forward's
the right angle.
okay, though. Forward's all right.
Yeah. Ball will spot up now as Scott owed one.
Oh, man, the 15, did it get covered up by the 7? That makes things awkward. Looking at the 12, I don't know if that really goes, having to roll it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's such a dangerous shot. You can really saw the cross-corner bank if you play that.
He needs a threat, though, so I don't know if there's anything doubled up or not, but he's going to go that route. He needs a threat.
And I think get rid of that 7 and get the threat next time.
Yeah.
He felt like it was just too dangerous, didn't have enough reward for how much risk you were going to have to take.
Almost left him a reasonable twist back bank on the 15, almost. He could shoot it.
Yeah, Frost is super aggressive, one pocket player, but he's not a hyper aggressive that he doesn't throw the odds out the window. He understands when it's go time and not.
No, I mean, that's why I think he's a little better on the moving, just because I think he's got all sides of the game. Like, whenever I was getting help in one pocket and from old Red Raider, that was one thing he expressed is, nothing wrong with having your style, but the best way is to be able to play, aggressive or tight, depending on, what kind of player you're playing, what the score is,
Yeah.
How you're feeling that days. Some days you're not pocketing the ball as well, or you're not hitting the cue ball as well, so you may pull back on the reins a little bit on shot selection. It's the beauty of the game. Now, he put the cue ball in a real nice place here. I don't know what Justin's really looking at. He's looking at cutting the 11, kissing off the 4, I believe, and going down table. It's the only thing I could imagine if he was shooting in that direction. All right, so everything's going to be pretty much on Scott's side after the shot, pretty much. The 5 didn't go. Oh, that's not going to get there. Well, no, definitely left to cut. Not easy.
No, very doable, though. Looks like it leads right into the back of the 12 ball. He seems to think it might go past early on the 12 ball. I think he's going to hit the 12 ball with this if he makes it.
Yeah, straight high, he might be able to get short of it, but any right English, you got to. Oh, he missed it. He missed it. So we'll see what Justin wants to do here on the 7.
I think he can back cut the 7 and float down on the 15 here. No.
He might bump it. He might go 2 rails and bump the 15. I'll tell you what, if he drew the ball, I mean, however he wanted to try and get shape here, can't hardly blame him, really.
If you apply right side spin, it makes the cut quite a bit tougher. However, it really takes pace out of the mass of the cue ball when it hits that rail going forward with right spin. He did. He did just that. Okay.
Well, he got the cue ball, and now the 15's in a little bit of a funny spot. Scott's going to have to draw up to the double kiss. That's kind of what you do here. Knowing even if you give him a shot, you see this? Even if you give him a shot, the crossover, which he didn't, he did great. Justin could never get more than 1.
That was a real delicate hit to make that, and a very knowledgeable play to get him on the double kiss straight in. That way the balls are lined up straight into Scott's pocket.
Yeah, and you notice he hit it well, but it wasn't like super tough shot selection, too.
Right.
Pretty simple.
Right.
And again, he came up in there slowly. That way it would never really get away. Even if he gave him that shot, like I said, the most Justin could get was 1.
Is he banking the 11, I believe, back to his pocket? No. Just going to go ahead and get distance.
Yeah, 1 ball apiece here in game 2.
What a great opening match for our day here. I got my adrenaline going right here. Let's go. I love pool. Smell of chalk dust in the air.
I'm not sure. He looks like, is he queuing at the 4? I don't know what he's doing here. Drawing your ball, the 4, it's hard to make it. Wants to go long, drawing your ball.
He's thinking better of that decision.
I don't mind this at all, though. He hit it thicker than he wanted, but so watch out for like the 15 now. But
that is the one thing
2.
with Jay Hall. Sometimes when it's a shot like this, he'll be just a little too casual on these. He should probably get a little more value out of them.
Yeah, or all those little hits against the better players, too. Like there, he hit that too thick. He wanted to hit it thinner and be inside the 1 and 5 with the cue ball. And those little ones, when there's so many balls on the table, Scott could bank the 2 now, I believe. Hard to get this one to the hole if you're killing the cue ball. If you're running it, yes, you may go into the 15 with the cue ball. Pretty good hit.
Real good hit.
And now we'll see if Justin wants to take on the 9 cross corner while dropping below the 2. It's a difficult shot, and it certainly could get a kiss if he misses it long, which is the way he wants to miss it if he does miss it.
Big shot here. Well done.
Watch out. Yeah, almost gave up a shot. He did give up a shot, but I don't know if he'll shoot it or not.
It might be the highest percentage play from here.
I was just thinking about it first time I saw Scott in Olathe, Kansas. I said, look at this guy here. And this is what I was thinking of myself. He was a very animated young man, loved 1 pocket, and just wanted to play every day. All right, he's going with a high ball. You can't really go that far off the 12. Yeah, I was going to say, don't get involved trying to hit it and get the cue ball safe. You're not going to get safe. A beautiful strike there, though.
Yeah, Jay Hall didn't want to have to be forced to play that. It was just the best of the shots there, so play it and then play safe. Scott Frost from Des Moines, Iowa. His mentor, a great player, now lives in Phoenix, named Don McCoy.
Yeah, I was in Phoenix a few years ago. Don was at one of the pool rooms in Sun City, and I'm outside having a cigarette. There comes Don McCoy. I was like, dang, I didn't expect to see you. And he had just moved to that area to retire.
Oh, he's a gem of a guy.
Oh,
a lot of
him,
fun. You got that good dry sense of humor. Gambled against all the top players. Won more than his share of times.
Yeah, we played a couple times in Olathe, some cheap 1 pocket. Always wanted to kind of play the guy. He's always nice, and we were always there warming up.
Mm-hmm.
Now the 2 kind of banks off the 11. I know it's a crazy shot towards Justin's pocket. Just something to talk about. But all right, good cue ball there. Scott's certainly going to shoot in the direction of the 3 ball. And here you just move this to your side, go straight through it. Like that, nothing major. Now that those balls are removed a little bit, he could actually look at what the 2 look. This is the shot I was talking about. The 2's going to, if you thought you could do something nice with the cue ball, the 11 may pocket the 14 and put one on the spot, so there's a little danger there, but it's not the type of shot you want to hit with high. You got to hit it with a little draw. So he may stay away from it. He likes it, though. You can kind of tell when Justin's kind of talking himself out of it. Little angel on one shoulder.
Yeah.
The one with horns on the other, right?
He's going to Z himself to get that cue ball back on the end rail. 1 rail, 2 rails.
Yeah, perfect speed. Really good touch. Always the sign of natural talent when they can have that good touch coming up and down the table. I thought we'd see some longer matches at times this year with so many players, of course, and then the table's a little bit more difficult. Now that kind of shot there, I understand you're trying to get something on your side, but without something on your side, you don't know where they're going to turn out, right? So you got to be careful.
Right.
Almost could have give up a free shot on the 9 here, which would lead towards a couple balls.
He can score it and stop his ball. Not going that way.
He let up on that one. Got a friendly kiss off the 1 ball, though, which made the bank kind of go towards the hole. Looks a little like a kiss, unless he really wanted to spin at it, which he probably wouldn't. He could cross it over just lightly. He could come off the 9 and dive below the 2 pretty easily. He won't try to make this, though. He'll hit it pretty thick to make sure he doesn't lose the ball, anything like that.
That's a nice shot.
Yeah, and what you do is you bring the cue ball down here with everything. That way you don't leave those long rail banks on the 1 or the 9, anything like that.
Yeah, Scott's looking around, but we know he's going to end up on the 9 ball towards his pocket.
Yeah, beauty there. One of the prettier shots for just a 1 rail bank.
That's now 2 balls apiece, and we're 25 minutes into this rack. And it's been really well played. We've got the formation of the Nick Varner wedge over there on Scott's side of the table.
Yeah, I wonder why the 3 looks very dangerous to try and be aggressive with. I thought he may chop the 2 over towards his hole versus.
He's thinking of kicking the 3 towards his pocket and let the cue ball trickle over underneath the 1. Got a little underneath it.
Yeah, not bad. I think a little fortunate not to give up a little more of something, because when you don't get the 3 near the hole, right?
Right.
That's when Justin's going to have something free to try and do something with, right? So, because there's no pressure. Is this 3 rails up and down the table?
I think so.
With a lot of speed?
Right, and you can keep the cue ball pinned to those balls there doing it.
I think it lays perfect, too. Just a center ball, maybe a touch of left. Oh, Jen? Is that Jen?
Man, he hit it good. What a shot.
How's the speed, by the way?
Woo.
Yeah, he's got him up in
this
up
is
in the trees, as we used to say in Houston.
He did a lot with that shot.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, notice how natural it was laying, right? That's when you want to shoot those shots, whenever they're laying good. He's going to come off the 2. Oh. Okay. Well, he's going to have to dodge another bank. I think, anyways. Justin's very good at crossing these balls. You know, you got to slow cross it. You know, he's just real good at understanding the touch and what's needed. I think Justin was commenting something about maybe a ball or two being moved when he was jacked up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good effort. Not quite perfect.
I think a little camaraderie there. He's tucking in his shirt after that little discussion. A little gamesmanship, just kind of messing with each other. Okay, doesn't want anything to come in on the spot. Not that it would be totally killer, but Justin should send him back in that corner somehow. He could kind of kick bank the 14. That's not terrible.
It's just that it's up a little bit is the only problem.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up, it's going to be kind of a passive response, which is exactly what he doesn't want to do, but I don't think he can play much. I think he's got to make sure that he doesn't leave a two-railer on the 1 of the 14 here.
Yeah, he's looking at something that I don't quite see just yet. I'm not sure what it is.
He didn't want to just roll down on the 11, but I think that's going to be what.
He's moving both these balls.
Okay, well, that's not bad either because they go on his side if he can get something.
He's got to hit it thin, though. Okay, nice shot.
Yeah, now that's the best shot by far. Now he's got 2 balls on his side.
Yeah, and he didn't disrupt a bunch of balls up table that aren't really helping Scott at the moment, even though they are on his side.
Yeah.
Now, Scott may go for this two-reeler. If the stroke is good, you beat the kiss and you end up underneath the 114. If you kind of poke it a little, you can. Ooh, he caught it way thin. Better hope the 8 doesn't fall. And it didn't. Easy to catch that shot thin, it seems like.
Just acts like he can roll the 3 in, at least get it close. To me, it looks extremely difficult.
Yeah, not much worry as far as giving anything up, though. Pretty good little effort there.
It was.
And sometimes you get in these games and your opponent's just kind of getting a ball, getting 1, 2, and you're kind of wondering what's going on here and how's that happening. Like here, he might bank the 2 as well. Surprised Scott didn't draw over there because you don't have to draw over much where the 2's not very good at all. So.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, if he lays it in the center of the end rail.
Center's for sure no good, but. Came across the face of it a little fat, so he's going to get a bank or. Doesn't look too playable.
Good. Yeah, just move it on your side and keep it up off that end rail so there's not a 2-railer for Scott.
Well, the thing is, if you give the advantage to Scott moving, which I think I did overall, and that's like minute, but if you do give him the advantage there, it's about with more balls.
Oh, my.
You know, kind of like the whole situation of the layout of the whole table. But if they keep just pinging around 1 ball, I give the advantage to Justin because 1 ball at a time kind of simplifies the moving, and Justin's got a few more banks in his repertoire than Scott does.
Great assessment there. I'm with you. I think when there's a whole bunch of balls, Scott's got a slight advantage. When it's just 1 ball, I think Justin has a slight advantage.
I think so too. And he's kind of just been picking them off. One ball, one, you know?
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Most frustrating way to get beat, by the way. It's because you don't figure it out sometimes, you know, like,
Yeah.
how's he really doing this to me?
It's just going to bank the 12 on the 14 and just let the cue ball drift down
Yeah.
table.
Maybe. Just play the cue ball. I mean, Scott's probably not going to get a ton of balls from this, even if you do open up a bank.
And just let the balls naturally get back on your side rather than try to force it there. Just take care of the cue ball.
Yeah. And until you know you can get one or two on your side and they're secure, you don't want to just, you know, you see how open Justin's side is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you get one of them over there and you don't get it right, well, Scott might be able to two-rail it or one-rail it and get you underneath the balls. You know, you want a couple or two or three of them over there before you really start giving them more options. But Justin's playing it perfect. Real simple. Kind of letting Scott see Scott's been the aggressor, giving up some shots here in game number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, Justin put maximum taxation on that last one with a super nice cross-corner bank.
Yeah, just don't go out of your way to force something that's really not there. I mean, it's just pretty obvious. Try and deal with the 14, kick softly on it, roll on it. You could even two-rail and kick it over to your side. Wondering, you know, he's wanting to get those open for future things, right? I understand, but got to be careful.
Good job with the cue ball.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about with Scott's deal. Now without moving the 14, Scott's got to not only move the 5, but think of the 14. So,
And Scott's want to play a aggressive one into this, end rail. Yeah, this is all laying real awkward now.
yeah, he's going to squeeze below the 1, knocking the 12 over. Or he didn't get him below the 1, but still not bad. But the problem is Justin gets to make an easy choice on what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
There is no, the 5, the 12, they all give me jeopardy. He could even just clip off the 1. He just kind of has his choice. I don't think he can double bank this. That's what he's looking at. I'll tell you, though, you don't have to double bank it to your hole to be a little effective if you feel like you can draw the ball back on those balls.
Yeah,
So,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, just two-rail it, maybe a little low, and bring the cue ball back on the 13, one cushion off the side rail. If we can grab the overhead real quick, that would be a great one. So what Jeremy's saying is that you can bank this full, and it comes here, while the cue ball traipses back here.
Yeah.
That would be ideal if you play that shot.
is he cutting this, trying to go around
He
the
might
5?
be trying to super thin, but boy, you got to turn that cue ball loose. Yeah.
And he caught it thick. And he's going to give everything got
Not
kind
bad.
of off.
Not bad. I kind of like your shot better, though.
Yeah, I think he wanted that shot. The only thing about that shot, it may have required a little right English. And I know he could cue the bottom in between those balls, but I don't know if he could really get to the right. So, but remember that double bank a lot of times. You don't have to play it really close to the hole. Oh, boy. Ooh. And Scott almost lost the rock there. But you don't always have to play it to the hole, especially once you already have one ball down there.
Yeah.
Now they both become kind of tricky because they got to play safe towards 2, right?
Well, I really like that thought.
All right, you can hit this thick. You don't have to hit it to cut it at the hole. Hit it thick, come 2 rails at the 5 with the ooh, he was trying to hit it thin. This could hurt. This could hurt here. He's giving up a cross corner with the 1 coming on the spot. So he was trying to cut it more at the hole. And the only reason that had a lot of value there is the cue ball could scream upstairs into all those balls, and he knew it couldn't get away from him. So he could go for a thinner hit, trying to play the bank more than just move the ball. It just ended up he aired it. Now remember, it rolls a little up right at the pocket, so I'm surprised he didn't fire that one more, Mark.
Well, he was wanting position on the 8 is why.
Yeah, but you can kind of hit downward on it a little bit to where you slow the cue ball down, but you still hit it harder, kind of cut and deuce throw, I guess.
Okay. Well, that was a good shot for Justin.
Does the one banks, he's almost got to shoot this aggressively coming up above the 5. This won't be rolled. He's got to shoot it. Yeah. Well, he can cut at the 8 here. This is surprising here. He can cut at the 8, come 2 rails, not leave anything easy on the 1, and have a bank on the 1 as well. I mean, what was the cue ball around the opposite head spot? The head spot. I mean, not too terrible of a cut shot.
It was down a little lower than that, but yeah, that was the angle it was on.
All right, very dangerous against Justin Hall right here. I'll tell you, like right there. Is this going to get there? And that's because he didn't get there because he knew how dangerous everything was.
Yeah.
Justin needs to quit rolling these so much. Put a little more speed.
He definitely rolled it. Definitely got it down there.
He's guarding, and I understand it.
Yeah.
A race to 3 is hard, right?
Mm-hmm. And he felt like if he can just get that ball near his pocket, he has a pretty good tactical advantage because there's 4 open balls on his side of the table, and Scott really has nothing on his side of the table that goes.
And he's got to protect against other banks as well. So Scott's going to look at the double up here on the 1-5 and the 14.
And try to get the 8 ball to score.
This is where he's either got to address it with spin or he doesn't really get it that close to the hole while holding the cue ball. He killed it nicely, though. What a great cue ball, Scott.
It was.
Very, very good. And Justin may try to leak this ball in.
Justin almost would have preferred that did drop in.
Absolutely, he would have.
Now he's going to have to do some.
I think he's going to shoot the 14. I think he's going to try and slide it in off the rail, off the 5. I think.
Boy, that's not an easy shot at all. But I guess everything's tough.
Yeah, it looks
I thought he would go super thin on the 8, try to get the cue ball back up there in the clutter. That's not going to work unless it hits the 5.
Yeah, that's what I say. You play it off the 5. Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens there is, he applies as much pressure as he can while Scott's trying to run balls.
Yeah. It's sort of like you let him concede the ball to himself rather than you concede it to him.
Yeah.
You're not giving up much by having that ball hanging.
And the thing for Scott is he doesn't have too much danger trying to get position here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the 5-ball bank, he's got to shoot it a little bit more if he's going to play position on it. Got to be aware of that pocket right there. Tables have played beautifully all week. He's going to get on top of it.
He won't be happy with this.
No. So now he's going to have to concede ball number 5 and almost stun the cue ball, and he's going to give up a little 1-ball bank.
Sometimes the freezer gets a little loose on some things that he just goes with feeling rather than thinking it all the way through.
If you feel good about making it, you can go with a high ball here because the 5 is not shootable from the middle of the end rail. You can recognize that. You can lag it more, play a little more pocket speed.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe, no, I don't think you can. Yeah.
And so he's going to, this is a little more makeable to him because he can throw it this way. Top English, it just doesn't want to throw that much. All right, freezer. Yeah, but even though it looks like a kiss, he needs to take a chance trying to avoid this kiss right here with a lot of spin on the bank on the one. Cue ball will go one rail cross into those balls if he beats the kiss. I think he's supposed to take a chance at
Boy,
on one
yeah, if he
railer.
gets it into the clutter over there, there's going to be some real problems for Justin. How'd he do?
Yeah, he caught the kiss.
Kiss pretty full.
Yeah, and sometimes the spin reacts where you beat the kiss there, and I don't know exactly why that is, but considering the score and the way the ball's laid, very hard for him to sell out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was worth the chance. All right, can he go off the one and put him up in that?
Yeah. Maybe
by
even make. Oh, he didn't even look at it, or maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't available. I don't
make
know.
the 10. I think it was available.
If he could get down there and make the 12, while putting the ball on his side and then the ball on the spot simultaneously.
I 100% agree. Thought that was there. The 9-ball starts today, so another 500 players in action. Looks like Skylar Woodward beat Conrad in their one-pocket match. Roberto Gomez and John Schmidt still battling. John Mora playing a match here close. Yeah, did that get far enough for him not to twist this ball back? I think it did. This is what Justin wants. He wants the Scott to bank at this 5, knowing that you're playing for 1 most likely, and if you don't hit it well, you may give me a cross corner. Just like here. And that's what Justin wants to see. Hey, let's shoot together. Let's see who's gonna bank these balls in better, rather than let's make it a moving game. And it's gonna go long, I think.
Justin's brother here, ringside, Preston. He's the mayor of a small town next to my little town.
Oh wow,
Preston Hall. He's a good player too.
Yeah, actually met him this week. Never met him before.
Real good dude. Then he's sitting there next to Kent Kaiser. Kent was a former minor league pitcher for the Phillies. Pitched with Lenny Dykstra and Darren Dalton on his team.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a great player. Played AAA baseball.
Dykstra, he was crazy, huh?
Yeah.
He stayed crazy, too. He had all kinds of issues
right.
post-career. I'll tell you what, he was one intense guy.
Remember Darren Dalton?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dutch. Rusty's looking at the 2-railer here. I don't know if he has it. The 5 probably has him.
I think to make it, the 5 might have him a little impeded, but
Justin's looking at fanning the 12 back into the pile there and let the cue ball 2 rails down table, but try to take away a natural 5-ball bank simultaneously.
he disrupted him quite a bit.
Productive.
There.
Got something on his side with that. Okay. Big game here. It'll either be tied or all will have 2-0 lead in the match. So this is a big game. Nice shot there, getting that ball off of Hall's side safely. It wasn't easy to do. Uh-oh, Justin.
From nowhere. Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
I bet he likes these 4 1/8 inch pockets right now.
He's liked them a few times today.
Yeah, 4.5. That could have been a goner. Wow. Man, it looked bad all the way, didn't it, Jeremy?
Yeah. Yeah, it looked very dangerous. I like him making the 11 here instead of chopping the 5. And the reason why is kind of how he's winning, you know. That's okay. But putting a ball in the spot, and let's just play with that one ball again for a little while, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Again, pressing. This bank hardly really goes. See? And now you're going to give a freebie on the 12. That's not moving. That's not how Scott's really going to win not only this match, but the tournament itself.
Yeah, that's right.
So hard not to bank the 12 if you're Jay Hall here. I mean,
yeah, you have a chance to score it, and you got a threat down there. And then when he tries to deal with it, you got the cross-corner bank looming.
He must not see the 12. Of course, the 5's an option as well, but, I mean, you'd have to look at the 12, right? With a 5-3 lead. He's elevated a little bit, so he likes his chances of making it.
Trying to play position.
Or a little safe, but see, you actually play less safe just because the 4-ball bank now, and that naturally goes behind the 5, it looks like. Very odd. I don't think he saw the 12 mark.
He didn't look at it much if he did, because you'd think he'd have to at least. And plus, you could stick the cue ball over the clutter there simultaneously, and then get the 1 down there. I thought it was a better shot.
Yeah, and you know his speed is going to be like really good on that bank. Yeah, Scott's kind of looks a little worried when he's swinging for some reason. First match of the day. These cross corners here. Justin's supposed to shoot at this a little more. Not only you get the cue ball a little higher, I understand the pocket speed is what he wants, but he tried to get all the way up, not to give up the 12.
Good. Yeah, that's a good result there.
Yeah. Scott shaking his head a little bit.
Well, he knows, that this is going to be tough to deal with.
Well, yeah, tough to deal with and not give up something in return. He's looking to bleed the cue ball off the 11 all the way down. Wow. He's just going to leave him there. Wow. All right, can Justin 2-rail the 5? Can he cue it enough to 2-rail the 5? He doesn't have to. You don't have to hit it real accurate when your opponent has absolutely nothing on their side.
Mm-hmm.
You can hit it with a high ball and just come right back at those 4 balls you're over right now.
And if it's a problem at all, you can play safe one more time in the stack until you can get a little better cueing position at it. You don't have to be in a hurry, because Scott's got to deal with this 1 and 4, so he's going to have to keep the cue ball there or else take a chance. Really good call, Jeremy.
Yeah, and it was.
Yeah, beautiful.
It was, there was so much room for error, even though he was cueing funny. Now, if he would have froze him there, that would have been huge.
Got him over those balls.
Or just on the rail, period. That way he can't be aggressive moving the 4. He could move the 4, but he could. Oh, yeah, Scott's having trouble cueing here early.
But you see what that did by putting that 3rd ball there.
Yeah.
It put a ton of pressure on Frost.
Well, I'll tell you what happens. When you're pressing a little bit, and it's not even a conscious pressing, I don't think, with Scott. It just happens to be.
Yeah.
You shoot at shots that aren't as good.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start seeing balls not hit that well because they're difficult shots to shoot at, your confidence goes down all the way overall, because you just had nothing positive happening, right? So even those subtle moves is, maybe it takes a little while for those things to really become effective.
Yeah.
But guess what? You normally hit the numbers on those subtle moves. And so your confidence just kind of grows a little bit. A little quick there. And not one he misses very often. And he got him a little funny here, like maybe a kiss. You can see a little shake of the head from Scott. I think he can avoid it with high inside. He just got to attack a little bit. Yeah, you can definitely beat the kiss, actually. Just can't baby it too much.
Then it rolls uphill a little bit there, too, so that didn't help, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I tell you, he made chop suey this one. No, he didn't.
Justin is kind of content to just let the balls play themselves here as he's been winning these little skirmishes.
Well, one thing that, Justin, of course, very good at a lot of things, but he's very good at assessing what's going on. I don't know if you want to call that, his gambling kind of like being in the pool room kind of skills or whatever you want to say, but he's going to recognize how he's winning or, what the theme of the game is right now, and if it's working for him, he's not going to really jump away from it too often.
That was a nice shot there because that was one of those in-between strokes, and he got a lot done because he didn't sell out the two-railer as a natural hit.
Yeah, and is Scott going to press again here on a bank? It's not sitting too nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And it only leads to one.
Yeah. And you may see Jay Hall double bank this with some speed. If I tell you, if the four is over another inch or so, he cuts at it.
He still might be able to, and maybe not. No, two-railer. Once he went low on the cue ball, we knew he wouldn't.
Swish. Oh, it tightened up a lot there for Neufeld. Wow. But I think it was 2-0 Scott in this game before Jay Hall just kind of picked one off several times here and there, and now 6-2, 6-3, excuse me. Now the 12 now, that's a hard one to pass up on. Yeah. Jay Hall was trying to go a little further with the cue ball, I think. And you don't want to hit the one if you don't have to. Nice shot, Scott. This table seems to be banking a little difficult. Again, the guys are playing 90% of their pool on the outer table, so.
Mm-hmm. Nice removal there.
Oh, he left him the 12. 100%. That goes.
And good job with the cue ball.
Yeah, he left across the corner. So far, he's been banking these kind of high, so didn't want to really hit it light enough. Now that's a better speed, it looks like. Really sweet stroke there. Six to 4 is the ball count in game 2. It's raced at 3 with Jay Hall up 1-0. Jay Hall broke this game, so Scott trying to get it back on serve. Yeah. That's going to leave a shot, maybe. No. Oh, look at there. One coming on the spot. Now he is elevated.
What speed do you shoot this spot shot at?
You know, a lot of guys, if you're not digging down, so a lot of guys will come with the speed to go 2 rails to the end rail, like coasting up on the end rail with the cue ball.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, the soft side, I mean, you got to have a big reward to shoot it the soft way, like other balls down here for shape or something like that, because that sells out much more often than the firm one. All right, Scott, come across a little bit. If he makes this, maybe gets a 13 ball bank. All right, it's going to get on the end rail. Ooh, ugly. This is a touchy one here, especially being jacked up. This, if you want to hit it hard, you might run the cue ball a little bit here, banking the 1-2 rails like that. Trying to get the one on your side to keep him off the bank. I don't think he's done that.
No.
Scott's going to have to shoot the 13. Just caught the one a little thick. He wanted to run the cue ball just a little bit more. And consequently, if he catches the one thinner, it gets more on his side also. Now, is he drawing the ball? I thought he'd stun over, kind of stiff it. Yeah, like that. Nice shot.
Overcut it.
Yeah, don't see Jay Hall banking this, really. It's a lot of cut.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you miss it, boy, you really give Scott the upper hand here in the way the distribution of these balls. You have to feel like you're at least going to hang it. And this is awkward, like you said, for doing that. Oh, he hit it good. All right.
The cue ball didn't even get to the rail. That's how much he threw the ball.
Yeah.
He's so good at that judging it. Like you said, out of the womb, announcing cross side.
Yeah. Him and Bergman together, they were a funny duo.
He's looking at banking the 4, boy. Ooh. Talk about pressing a little bit. Watch out for the scratch cross corner. Okay, he's playing it light. He's going to kick underneath it.
That didn't accomplish much.
No, he felt like he was going to tickle him underneath the 11. Now, the thing about that is, even if you get him underneath the 11, he's going to graze it, or he's going to leave you on there. He's not going to sell out. So until you have a ball a little more close to your hole, right, those kind of shots there are kind of like, okay, if you're playing somebody that may sell out behind that, that's fine. But not one of these great players. They're not going to sell out even if you trap them. Beauty there.
Just
and he may be the best ever at that shot. I know that sounds crazy. Efren's really, really good.
Yeah.
Bugs used to be incredible at that shot, floating it in, cutting it in, but Jay Hall's up there as well.
Jay Hall played that with the speed that it's just going to be right around. He's not selling out a cross corner bank when he misses. It's just going to get to the hole.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and he makes it a lot.
Oh, I know.
Amazing.
Yeah,
He just makes it a lot.
Super nice touch. Because if you play that with any kind of medium speed and you miss it all the time, you're selling out some type of big advantage. So
yeah, but getting back to Scott's play, it's kind of like we talk about when, guys keep trying to put guys in the stack when they really don't have balls by their hole.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to keep your opponent off the shot, but you also take a risk coming up with the cue ball when you miss the stack. And you're not really doing anything to improve your situation of the balls. You got to get balls going towards your hole. I mean, the cue ball's nice and all, but all right, Scott, a little shake of the head there, trying to shake things off.
Well, I think he's disappointed that he realizes now that his shot led to his demise. It didn't have much reward. It was always disappointing. It's kind of like don't dig where there's no potatoes, son.
Yeah, right.
You can lose, but you can't win with this.
That's right. All right, so nothing really near the pocket, so that's when Jay Hall becomes kind of dangerous because he can stun the cue ball, move balls a lot. Looking at the 15-7, is the 4 not in the way, Mark?
I thought so too, but
Boy, look at this camera view we have. That tells me the 4's in the way. Now he could play the 4 into the 15-7. He could go 3 rails off of that, back behind the 110. But whew, man, my eyes are fooling me if he can get at this like he thinks he can. Oh, he did.
Scott, he might be looking to play the 1 off the 10 here.
It's close, I'll tell you.
Well, not to make necessarily, but at least filter it over there.
Yeah, the only thing is he's got to go through it, which is nothing wrong with that at all. It actually lays nice to land right behind the 8 on the rail.
He's worried about the 10 coming in and hitting the cue ball is the issue. If you're going to make it, the 10 gets in the way of the cue ball. If you go thin like this, powerful.
Yeah, J Hall can take a pretty effective foul here. 2 rails on the back of the 1. Wouldn't be terrible. It would get Scott kind of kicking back over in that area. Too hard, it's going to bounce off of it. But that's okay. It's not bad.
Good call, Double J.
Yeah, you
taking the foul there.
You wanted to squeeze him on that ball, but now this is where it's a little scary because he can bank the 10 maybe and stun up right above the 13, not selling out, but gaining position on the 1. That's why that last shot, it was real touchy, even though it could have been very effective.
Man, he hit it good.
Yeah, he went forward too. So that was kind of like,
yeah,
heck with this. I'm finally just shooting at it, instead of rolling the bank.
Good shot, Scott Frost.
Yeah, very good. What's the 12-13 look like? Looks like it's going into the side rail a little bit. If that's the case, he's got a lot of work to get some balls here. Oh,
he was going around the horn.
That's going to hurt. It's going to give up the 7 ball, and with an angle coming up to split the 9-11 and all that. So,
I like the way he was thinking, but that was maybe not the time for that shot.
Well, I think he was a little disgusted. That's kind of why he shot the 10 ball. Hey, let me not think myself out of this. I'm supposed to make this bank. Quit playing like that. You saw all the balls that lagged next to his hole in the last 2 games, right?
Right. Well, here's kind of like a big moment here. Scott's still in the match if Justin can't do something from here beyond just 1 ball.
Well, you're not going to blast it. Just don't baby it. Give it some stroke. Yeah, hard not to have everything open up.
Oh. Here's a replay. It's up pretty high.
Yeah, and the thing about this shot is he's trying to reverse it, but he has to go right by the 3 to make that ball reverse and come 3 rails. So,
and if he hits it thinner and makes the ball, he's into the 3.
Look at this super thin cut on the 14. Lucky he can get to the left side of the cue ball here because he's definitely going to use some spin. He's trying to come tight into some balls maybe, Mark?
I'm not. Boy, it seems like so thin.
Well,
seems like
you
go
can hit
around
it
them.
thicker. You can hit it thicker even if you catch the 4. It's fine. And the reason
he
why...
had complete control.
Well, the reason why the 9-6 doesn't go, that's why he wanted to hit some balls right there.
Oh, yeah. The the super thin hit just prevented him from hitting it. If he hits the balls, he doesn't make the object ball.
Yeah. I don't know what he has. He's looking at something like the 3 off the rail into the 6, trying to guide the cue ball over. Now, the problem here is you can hit it really well, and Scott just go over there and bank the 11 in on you. You slide the cue ball over. So, and sometimes that happens because, it's just too good of a bank to pass up, or you trap your opponent.
Yeah.
Or you force him to shoot. So.
One thing, too, is that Scott's showing that he's wanting to press the issue here. And Justin's kind of, a lot of times, not played the most aggressive route to battle him ball for ball, and that's Scott's patience is wearing out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, all that double up, maybe hard not to bank the 15 here. I mean, the 9-6-1 and all that's pretty clogged. What happens is if you get it down there, not saying it's going to cause a ton of problems. I like this as well. You play it kind of so-so down there. It's all right. Doesn't really bank, I don't think, anyways. It's close.
The 11 doesn't go off the 7. He's not even looking at that, so clearly not.
Think he's shooting through this? He may be crossing it. I don't know. But he doesn't want to disrupt the 13 and all that. 13-12 is giving him some help to where he doesn't, he's got a lot of wiggle room, Justin does.
Yeah, good shot there. Went rail first. And kept a lot of pace in the object ball and took a lot out of the cue ball.
Everything's still doubled up, but if the 2 isn't laying that good and he hits it a little off, he could easily leave some free shots. So this isn't the greatest just because he's just got to edge it. He can't really move balls on the side.
And you freed up a ball that doesn't go on Justin Hall's side.
Yeah, if he's not sitting on a kiss here, I like him banking the 3. The 12-13 doesn't go. If he can just bank it down by the 9 somewhere, if he can just follow through, that's okay. Now, he sent him up table last game and won it. Why not again? Can he kick at the 2? Can he get at the 2 at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. Scott's investigating the 5 ball, and it's close. That's a scary thing, moving balls. You just never know. He's shooting at it.
I think he was trying to go off the stack, maybe 2,
I think the 5 was pretty close. The 5's not bad. I think it maybe threw upward a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Now the 5 doesn't look bad off of the 7 in Justin's pocket, and he can draw up the side rail towards the 12. So be very surprised he passes on this. And the thing is, you don't have to hit it very hard. Just hit the top side, and it should, ricochet off the 7 easily towards his pocket. And if it needs to go downward a little bit, that's actually land pretty perfect as well.
Yeah.
So I think he's a favorite to make this.
Or at least get something close pretty safely.
Just
hit
a
it
little
pretty good.
high.
He hit it pretty good.
Just a little high. And he knew that was the game winner, probably. But I'll tell you, look at all the balls. And, one little lonely bean on Scott's side, that being the 12. So he's trying to get something on his side now. And unluckily, not a whole lot went his way. They're all tied up. That's why he pointed at them. They're all up in the corner. Okay, so considering there's not much danger, if you bank the 13 down below the 4-7 and you don't let Scott see it, I'm surprised he didn't shoot it downward. And the reason why he's doing this is he knows the way the balls lay. He's going to get all the free shots for a little while. So.
Yeah, I think I kind of like the way he got here because it's hard for Scott to do anything aggressive, and it's not even that easy to just play where Justin won't have anything. Like you're saying, he'll get the free shots to begin with. Oh, he had an offensive shot. He hit it nice.
Oh, he almost kissed that ball. Wow. Three to 2 in the balls now. Game number 3. Justin Hall on the hill. I like him opening these real thin-like, though. Not heavy. Yeah, like that. Man, not getting back to the rail is huge. That's not Scott's game usually, almost a diamond away with the cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
Usually pretty on point in that regard. I think Justin's looking at the 13 at first. He's maybe going to kick behind the 6 here.
Yeah, rail first and let the
Run
cue
up,
ball trickle.
Yeah. Oh, look at this hit here.
What a shot.
Look at this hit.
What a
Ooh,
shot.
That was like going to be really close.
Yeah.
Didn't sliver that 4.
I was thinking he was thinking aggressive. I was thinking just roll the cue ball into the stack off of that or the pile of balls down there in the corner, but he was getting something down by his pocket. And now, taking the 6 ball out of there, you're jacked up on the 5.
Yeah, it ain't the greatest angle either. It's decent, but it's not great. So watch out for giving him a gap on another
Double
bank.
kiss. Double kissed it.
Yeah, and that 6 got in a decent spot.
He did. Kind of cut him off the 13 ball.
Sure did. I think he kicks behind it and slides up that rail again on the 6.
But this time it'll have to be defensive only. You
Yeah.
won't be able to get the 6 back down.
Well, he's trying to come underneath the 6 here. I don't know if this table really is playing like that. Wow, how good he crawled the cue ball there.
Man.
Super nice.
What a shot.
Super
What a
nice.
shot. If he got behind the 6 and took the bank on the 13 away.
Oh, he snookered for sure.
Okay.
He may have even snookered him on the soft kick on the 13. Learn a little something there, Mark.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that, he just ignored where the 13 went. He knew that was never going to be a problem as long as he laid the cue ball down. And that's a good way of thinking about it, especially with a 2-0 lead. And I think he feels Scott pressing a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no
He
rail
didn't
here.
get a rail.
Well, maybe he did. Yeah, a little light. So one's going to come to the spot.
Now, if you lightly hit the 6 and let the cue ball go into the clutter down here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real problem there.
Now he's going to bank the 6, I think. Maybe not.
But you're froze to the rail. It's hard, if he waits, like if he gets the cue ball down there where he's got his Q-tip right now.
It's hard to edge the 6 from there. If he was a little closer to his pocket, And he's not going to play this like real heavy, a lot of cut. He's just going to keep good contain. You see how he didn't really play it.
I see.
He's playing more of a blocker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just containing.
Mm-hmm.
He may have the kick and stick here. No, he's not elevating, so I'm not sure what he's doing. Oh, he can get behind it. Oh, here you go, 1 ball. Oh, my goodness. If he doesn't bank the 1, are you serious?
No, I'm thinking the 9 goes back over there with
protection. But look at the 1, just fired in and stun over. I mean, that's like his bread and butter. Of course, he's getting into what he's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I always talk about, if you can pick up 5 yards running the ball, why would you ever throw it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But here's that 1 again, though. And he can be pretty aggressive with it. It's tight, but he likes something. Just rolling at the 5, is it? A lot of speed on that one. Man. Scott's going to have to dodge everything but the kitchen sink here the next several innings.
He's just got to roll. Oh.
Yeah, but that's going to get a ball on his side, but unless it gets real funny, he'll just spin off of it, play it across, and slide the cue ball up towards the 12-11 again. And now that ball isn't on the spot anymore. Little fast with the pace.
Not bad though.
No,
this is that tactical side that, you know, for somebody that plays this all the time, they're pretty handy at. Justin's just feeling what wins.
Yeah, Scott's shooting, so he's not wanting to wait around too much. Oh, nice hit.
Great shot.
Yeah, that's why that cue ball on the rail on that shot right there was, I think, almost a game winner for Justin. But look at this. He's not even considering moving balls. Wow. So I understand there's a double up here. Banking the 4, but yeah, this is the way Scott wins right here. Oh. Snookered in with the ball coming on the spot at the 5. Somewhat anyways.
I don't know how productive kicking into the back of the 5 really is, but you can let the cue ball trickle down.
Yeah, it's not bad. The only thing that sometimes happens is you catch that point, believe it or not. You know,
yeah.
I like that shot myself, though. But the one thing is you don't have to worry too much about Scott shooting at the 5 unless you let him cue the bottom of the ball, just because the angle on it, right? But
right. Well, Scott might roll at it here because he sees a cross-corner bank, but he can also lose if he misses the ball here, too, unless you go with power. Well, he went with power, and he hit the mark. Good shot.
Yeah, 4-2 now, so he's peeled off 4 unanswered. Gonna bank the 13. Oh, nice hit. Oh, 13 gonna get funny. It almost did to where J Hall could shoot the 1. Tell you, I still like the 1 myself, but the 13 doesn't worry me too much. Oh, he could see the 13 as well. Pretty nice. And he cut him off the 1. Did he cut him off the 1 ball? He did. That's a huge ball to cut him off of because Scott could cross that ball over and go up table with the cue ball and get a ball on his side. That's a big ball there that he cut him off of. This made it to where Justin should get another free shot here in a moment. Yeah, hard to keep him off all the banks here, Mark. 13, the 1, maybe in the 3. Uh-oh. Ooh, I thought I was going to kiss. That was actually his safest shot.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Really good effort.
Just taking a foul. No, he's going to get there. Okay. J Hall getting quite a bit out of these balls that's on his side. He hasn't been able to score with him yet, but nevertheless, he's been putting Scott in consistently tough positions.
Scott edging this ball here.
Looks like it.
Cut it. Wow.
Justin wants to thin that over to his side and get the cue ball all the way back down table, but this could be a tough shot. He decided to kick at it that way. How do you do? Not bad.
Pretty creative, really. Three's close, I tell you. It's tight with the 115. I think it does play. I hit it really well.
Yeah, you do. This you can lose with this one.
Yeah.
Boy, he hit it good though. He did do that. Whew. If you rub that 4 ball and get it out there where Scott can shoot.
Efren Reyes warming up probably for, I'm sure, a one-pocket match here soon. Might just kick on the on the 11 of those balls. He's just going to roll onto them. Good cue ball.
Yeah, real good. Yeah, Scott's looking to maybe play thin off the 12 with a little bit of right. Get the cue ball a long ways and maybe free up a bank there. No, he's going to do it this way. Just stay there.
I got the cut shot on the 1.
I don't know. Yeah, if you could just bank the 11 ball over by the side pocket, that would be nice. That would be productive. But maybe the 12's, got him trapped where he can't do that. Well, he's going offense. And that's great if you can. If you can rub it down there by your pocket safely. Now he's back to you just bump the 11 on your side. You can just pin the cue ball right there if you can.
Yeah, just let it go where it wants. Don't worry about it. Just hold the cue ball. Yeah, it's going to give up
boy.
6.
Yeah, he's not going to like this. That was the problem. He's been so patient throughout. I thought he would. But maybe it wasn't there.
Shot there.
You're not kidding. Yeah, now you're betting that Frosty misses the cut shot, and he hasn't been missing.
goofy manner, that's going to work out. Cut him off the 4-6. I don't know if the one passes and it's super thin, the ball on the spot. Nothing easy.
He didn't improve himself, though. He took a great deal of risk there. Didn't get much accomplished.
Yeah,
there was other better shots.
He was trying to 3-rail it. He just hit it a little short is all. I think the path of the cue ball kind of made him, force it short just because he wanted a certain path on the cue ball. That's the thing. Does a 9 go, all that from over there? Hard to cut at the 1, I'll tell you, unless you really think you can hit your mark with the cue ball. Because where are you going for shape without selling out? That's why you see him shake the head. He can't shoot at that ball. Oh, he's trying to move more balls. 12 into the 6. Better hope nothing goes in. Could have left the cut shot there, Mark. On the ball in the spot.
Yeah.
The ball goes in.
Is he 2-railing? What is he doing?
Yeah, he's got to be 2-railing.
It rolls uphill at that soft speed, J Hall. Good with the cue ball, though.
Yeah, real good. Left the kick to get it out of there, but still really good.
Gets a chance to twist back to 2 or the 4-ball, I'm saying. Real good with the cue ball.
Yeah, no fun, right?
Yeah, no, that was not fun.
Scott knows also that depending on what angle he leaves them here, if these balls get congested, he did pretty well to open them, though. So I was going to say maybe he could leave him something on the 15, but now those balls got opened enough, I think it's going to be a hard gamble for Justin. He's just going to chop the 4 up his side.
These have been some long tactical games here.
Oh, yeah.
Great speed. Settles into the end rail here. And that was a subtly effective shot. Looked like he did nothing, but he tangled things up and used another ball to slow the momentum of the cue ball mass down.
Now the ball's on Scott's side up the table for the most part.
Banking the 4 on his side, putting the cue ball go down table. Ooh, boy. Inside pocket looked huge.
Yeah, nice stroke, get through the ball.
Jay Hall taking a look at a possible two-railer. I don't think it's there. Quality shot there.
Yeah, for sure. Kick out here with maximum spin. You know, Jay Hall in the dangerous position of giving up a lot of free shots. Nothing on his side. That's why it's so good to keep your opponent's side clear. You know, a lot of times you don't have anything, right? Moving his balls are so huge just because of so many free shots you get when their side of the table's, you know, pretty empty. And that was never going. And it may kiss. Whew, took a big chance there. Big chance.
Is he looking at kicking into the back of the 6 here?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Not bad. Oh, that's surprising to me. He must really like going below it here. That being the 6. Because otherwise he could easily give up a bank if the speed's not right. Jay Hall twists this in a lot of times.
No.
Thought he'd fire it.
Frosty got in a position where he can bank the 6 at his pocket, looks like, or he can just take it out. Just take it. No, he is banking. Nice. Nice hit.
Yeah. Justin should follow this in, I would think. I wanted to put him on 6 or get it out maybe. But.
Oh, he's able to get it out. Boy, that was in there pretty deep. That was a good takeout.
It sure was. This got a little off angle from some distance. It's not, you know, it's not like he can shoot the 6 freely or the 4, even if he can see the 4. Both can give up a bank shot. He's ahead 5-2 in the ball count. Hard not to want to shoot, and it's not saying it's the wrong thing. You just definitely have to be careful doing so.
Great shot.
Really good stroke.
Very good, Scott. Trying to get position on the 13. Or maybe just going all out to get it right next to the pocket if he doesn't make it. Looks good all the way. Very nice. Little Z bank here. Side rail at your pocket.
Yeah, maybe. Needs a little cut. Plan for one, though, to get on the board here in this match. Oh, nice stroke. I know he didn't make it, but really like the control.
Yeah. Here we get another look at this takeout.
And got way in there. Should end game number 3.
Yeah, that was kind of
Justin Hall.
hyper aggressive there, trying to force something that wasn't really there much.
Trying to kick bank it. Will get us on into, should get us on anyways, into game number 4 with Justin Hall to break.
Game ball. Good shot. 2-1 is our score in this match. Much like we expected, it was going to be a very competitive match.
Yeah, looks like these guys are taking a timeout. We will too.
All right, we are back. Two to 1 is our score. Justin Hall breaking and leading the set. This is a race to 3. It's Mark Wilson and Jeremy Jones here getting ready for game number 4.
Yeah, talked to Scott on the break, and he informed me that he does have a loss. He lost to David Matlock last night.
I think both players have a loss.
Oh, Justin lost also, huh?
I could be wrong. But I saw it on the rotating phone thing.
Okay, yeah, that's very possible. Don't let yourself get fooled. There's plenty of great players out here that can they can beat the upper echelon. Blaine Barkis just had a nice win over Evan Lunda, I saw. In the one pocket, that's a huge one against Evan, considering he finished second in the bank, right?
Right.
A little light there. Usually you want a little more speed. Don't want to leave him this kick on the 2 too often. May even have something else. Now he wants to get a little something open on the top of the stack here. Maybe get the 13 across if he can bank the oh, he hit that hard. I don't understand that. You have to have a ton of cover to be able to go hard at that. I mean,
JL don't mind. He's got a bank here.
yeah, he's got a good one. And here he should swing the rock. I mean, he's supposed to bet on making this. Don't play the cue ball way up table, kind of off angle. I'd swing around for the 1 myself. But
would you ever drag into the 3?
Can he do that and make it?
Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, he's hitting low, so he must be able to. Yeah.
Oh, he hit it good.
Yeah, he hit it great. And that table definitely has a little upward lean, even at that speed. When it got about a foot away, it was going up just a little bit. The 11's got everything cut off.
How does he extract maximum value now, Jeremy? What are you thinking when you look at this?
Well, you really want to secure the cue ball.
Can you just shoot the 3 into the clutter and just totally play cue ball? And if so, where would you try to go?
Well, that's what he's thinking about doing, drawing up by the side, just pushing a lot of balls. Trying not to move the 6-13 and all that kind of stuff too much. He wants that to be blocking whatever he pushes towards the pocket. So kind of like a soft draw on the 3, I think.
And then just maybe like play a 3-2 combo is what you're saying.
Yeah, you know.
Not to make. I'm just saying to push it over there.
Well, you might make the 3-way. You might make the 3-way.
Okay. But to do that, he had to go with a little more pace, and then the cue ball got up. And
he had to cut it more, you know. So he's fearing once, you know, a lot of times you want to go up with the cue ball unless you know for sure what's going on because you're opening balls. So you could leave a cross corner if you leave the cue ball close to the balls, right? So going to up table a lot of times. Is he going aggressive here?
Yeah, I think so. He's kicking at the...
Wow, what a shot. But that was selling out all day. And he went very aggressive with the shot after the break, in my opinion. And he went even more aggressive there. That was a hard one to contain, the cue ball.
Well, you can see he didn't contain the cue ball. He was just going all out.
Yeah, and he's got a little worry here. He's got a 9-ball he can shoot that is pretty worthless unless he wants to roll forward and take on a bank. But even the cut on the 1, everything's a little funny here because there's nowhere to go with the cue ball. If you could get right underneath on the middle of the end rail with the cue ball, that would be okay. But even down below, if there's a cutback bank on the 4, or maybe a free long railer on the 12, you know what I mean? Like there's just... very sticky here. If he wasn't on the rail, he could do something else maybe. I'll tell you, I may have considered shooting at the 5-10 here and coming across. All right, he got a ball on his side, which is very, very good. Very, very important.
Table 7, David Roxon, Josh Heater.
And he got the cue ball on the rail, which was very smart. Because if the cue ball's not on the rail right here, he can do a lot. He can bank the 5 into the 7, go up into the corner with the cue ball.
Well, he's still thinking of that. He was thinking about putting the cue ball behind the 12 and doubling up to 7.
Yeah, he's got to elevate. This is hard to control. I don't think he wants to hit the 7 now, the way he's playing it. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He's using the 12 to keep him off of and opening balls on his side.
Yeah, and you see how the 10 and 7 also are toggled, right?
Yeah.
So,
and that was Justin's good execution with the cue ball, too.
Yeah, and don't worry, Scott's in not a pickle, but very, very touchy situation here. Good thing is he can roll on the 11 maybe.
Might be able to cut the 1 that way and control the cue ball.
Yeah.
Little inside spin, high. Let it just run on down and back up, check up. Kind of the snake shot.
All right, he's trying to get the 11 over, so delicate.
Very nice shot.
Yeah, pretty creative. Pretty creative. Well, he's got to be careful here. If if he's going behind the 7, but if the 4 gets up, he could leave the 7. He left the 7, period. Oof, okay. He actually got it in one of those spots that's real treacherous, actually.
Yeah.
Because if he can't thin on the side of the 11 and get safe, things are tough. All right, he's trying to stun behind the 4. This is going to be, he better hope. Yeah. But he kind of shot in between there. He moved balls over kind of subtly. I would have went ahead and went to the rail and back behind the 4, being aggressive with that shot right there, you know?
Well, this is bet the game time here. You don't have to, I mean, you still want to protect yourself, but Justin figures to win from here is what he's thinking.
He can go into the 6 maybe anyway for safe. All right, gets a nice contact on the 12. This looks real rough for the freezer.
1-4 coming up.
Yeah, and if the 4's not precluding.
Right. Looks like the 10 might go already.
He killed the ball nicely. The 11 goes.
But from here, he might even be able to kind of ease into the 11.
Yeah, the 11 might not even go. And like you said, if the 11 doesn't go, you go ahead and get on the 10 here. if you feel comfortable doing it. Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, he felt real good about getting on that.
And now he can get on the 10 maybe. A little jacked up, a
Yeah,
little flat.
this is not
but
going to
he's
be
okay.
easy to get up there.
Just mainly no miss from here.
I don't think he can get much more, though, Jeremy.
Well, if he could reach it, there's enough angle to stab. There's enough
no.
angle to stab it. He just can't reach it. I don't think so.
Well, stabbing opens you up to a miss, too.
It does. It does. Justin's trying to figure out how to.
Yeah, he's not good with the bridge. I can see that. He's used to climbing on the table. You guys don't let him do that?
Only in New Orleans.
He did get up there. Kind of. He didn't, but he could have. J.R.
It'd be hard for him not to shoot at this.
He's absolutely the most relaxed guy ever. Him and Tony Shohan, you could put like a what do they call those, heart monitors on him, and he's the most regular beat. Nothing gets him upset.
He's just a little worried on the 10, and I don't blame him. Can't really get more maybe besides a bank maybe on the 11. The 15 goes in Scott's pocket, so he's going to shoot. You don't want to spin this. You want to level out and just cut it. That way it's rolling to the hole.
He doesn't have to shoot. He's choosing to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got some value. He's ahead 5-1.
Played the double kiss on the 11 over.
My heart of heart says that was the better decision.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, Scott's going to have to take his time here. Probably doesn't open the cue ball up here when he knocks the 15 away. A lot of times you want to come back, but if you stick him also, he can't really move balls away too well. He moved it. Nothing wrong with that, but Scott can, Justin really has his choices on how he wants to play the game here. Pretty tight. I don't know. If you're not shooting here, you definitely just want to take care of the 6 here, I would think. You don't want to.
That's what I was thinking, too.
He must be going after this 2-reeler with some speed. Scott's going to have a very lonely side here in a moment. If he cuts the 9, he's not going to move the 5 that much. And he's not going to get the 9 on his side either. So again,
then say goodbye to the 6 ball here.
Yeah, and he can come across. If he can come across it and go up table without catching the point, which is delicate, you got to slide across slowly with right English. He takes a huge advantage in this game. Huge. Yeah, there you go. Even if he wants to shoot at that, it's not really that great.
It's not that free, that's for sure.
I wouldn't doubt he shoots, to be honest with you. Just kind of feel like Scott's not, besides game number 3, really didn't play his patient self like he normally does. So
Well, he's been trying to force the issue, but it's kind of the pressure Justin's put on him throughout. And he just made sure he got it heavy.
Yeah, and talked to Scott, like I said, on the timeout. He's a little under the weather. So not feeling his best. He's just going to try and creep this ball down there a little bit. Oh, he hit it way thinner than he wanted. Not going to hurt too much, but now, with all the double ups, do you cross the 5 at your hole, try and run the cue ball some 1, 2, 3 rails underneath the 8?
Yeah.
It's a big score that he's way behind in. See, the thing with this is, again, Justin's going to get to keep the heat on him simply for a little while. Just roll on the 11. Just hit it straight on. Go ahead and be a little aggressive bringing it down this time. He played it pretty light.
Very good speed there.
Yeah, perfect cue ball. Justin just cut this a little bit and come across. Now, he can take a little chance at moving some balls here. He didn't do it like real hard, which is always the way to do it, but you see, he did try to open something up a little bit. He's going to shave this ball. Well, he's giving him a cross corner, that's for sure. Why didn't he come all the way down? Was he worried about a miss hit there on the 5, maybe? Again, I don't think he's too worried about it as long as he's not getting shape. Doesn't mind Scott's firing at a bank. Maybe gives up a shot in return.
I think he has to go soft speed. Yeah. Nice hit. Well, the thing is, if he can beat the kiss with the twisting left English, the corner pocket's not in play down there. The 8 ball takes that scratch out of it. He's playing for his pocket in this fashion.
Yeah, he could give up a shot here, though.
Yeah.
He did. He gave up a combination. Not a great one, but one that Scott will probably shoot at some kind of way, the 13-6. I don't know if it lays any good to where he can go forward with the cue ball or not.
He's jacked up, and then it's a little bit off angle where the 13 kind of wants to lay on the side cushion there. So
Yeah, he could go forward, though, towards the center of the table a little bit, though. I mean, but the 10 becomes scary.
Right.
Long rail banks like the 5 become very scary. So he wants to put something towards his pocket. Now, to me, this is scary as well. I mean, he's cueing awkwardly. He's going to put a little left English, but easy to give up a cross corner because he's trying to get high of the 6, right?
hit it good.
Hit it very good. And didn't give up that cross corner really either. I mean, now, Justin's going to play this. Watch out for the scratch up there by the 12, off the back of the 12. Or any type of scratch for that matter.
Ooh, sold out a shot here. And the ball goes on the spot.
And is the 8-10.
Yeah, the 8-10.
He can throw it in. Maybe
Wow.
he might be able to make that. Big turn of events here on that shot.
Yeah. Freezer needs to bury this one to start things off.
Looks like he's dead straight.
Yeah.
Ish. So should be able to just roll forward for a cut on the 15.
Ready.
So back on the scoreboard now. 5-2 is our score and ball count. 2-1 in the score line.
Think Freezer's going to separate them.
Ooh. You can definitely tell how Scott's thinking usually.
Doesn't look like he's all that pleased with this.
No, and doesn't quite have the angle. It wouldn't be terrible to cut the 8 onto the 10, trickle it over, if he could get the cue ball somewhere around the middle of the end rail.
I think that's doable.
Yeah. I mean, that way, when he moves the 10, he has to worry about the bank on the 8 also, that being
removing.
Justin.
He's just removing. Not even gonna
Yeah,
fool
but they're
with
both coming to his opponent's side. And, ooh, he got lucky. The 10 really kind of covered some things up, maybe. But I guess the 5 wasn't going to be very bankable anyways. But don't think the 11's not. And one thing Jay Hall does very well here, if he's cueing this with the hair of inside, is he doesn't let up. That's the key to getting everything to hold the line, for the right to kill. Now, he came across it thick. He's going to hope the 11 covers up the bank alley, and it did, somewhat anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Scott's got to be careful here. I think the 10's a hard ball to play at, really. I think you got to bank the 11 just straight up the table and kind of lay the cue ball over underneath the 10 a little bit. I mean, the 10, I guess, might go,
Well,
maybe.
You can also bank the 10 at the 11.
Yeah, but you better have good speed not to give up the 8 or good line on the cue ball. I really did well with both. Whew. Nice shot, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at the kick bank, which is very funny. Good thing for him is he can really run the cue ball just about however he wants, you know, without giving up a straight in. Now, there will be a bank on the 8 maybe or something like that. He's just going to move it, which is pretty smart. Ooh, jammed it. Stuck the cue ball nicely.
Scott looking at lagging the 10.
Yeah.
It's not that great, I agree.
Yeah, it looks like he's going after the bank with the cue ball into the 8.
That also not bad.
Yeah. Ooh, that would have been unlucky to give up a shot there. I don't think he was considering the kiss shot here while moving the 11. Well, he's cueing downward. He may be slow spinning into the 10, trying to cut the 11 a little bit. Oh, no, you got to commit. You can't do it a little bit. You got to either go or not shoot it at all, right?
Yeah.
Shot in between.
I thought it was laying up from the rail just a little too much to assure yourself of not selling out of bank, where you got a really good go at making it. This was kind of like I wish it would go in rather than I'm going to make it go in.
Well, the thing, if you go at it, the cue ball comes upward because you come up the rail and you kind of cut the 10 a lot more with a little speed. So the shot definitely agreed to either being very aggressive or much more passive.
Great shot. Great shot.
Yeah.
Scott's walking it down there.
4 balls apiece. He's so good on the 8. Hard not to try and get behind the 5. Hard not to. 6 does bank a little bit. Yeah, I got to try to get there myself. He's so good on the 8. I mean, you missed it.
I just made the ball. Sucker.
Yeah, no, Jay Hall may play this combo if it does go, the 12-6, and draw behind the 5. 11 must be in the way. Now, what he does real well here also with a high ball, he'll cut it with a little bit of right, go to the side rail and let that right just check off, the in rail, side rail a little bit. Give himself a chance to make it.
Good speed.
Look at the cue ball.
Good
A little tuck in the cue ball away.
Wow, devastating.
Super nice.
Devastating move there. Now, Scott's almost in that got a kick at it type of mode.
Table 10. You are on the clock.
Yeah, it's
I
not
guess you can get it all the way down there. I guess you can't play safe.
Well,
yet.
the thing is if you're not worried about the foul, the 5 lays pretty nice to get underneath it. You know, you don't have to kick hard. Just try and bump it underneath.
Yeah.
The ball coming on the spot isn't the biggest killer in the world. Anything else could leave something free. So
That was a good result there for Jay Hall.
A little mean mug in there from Scott. He's not happy with the situation, that's for sure. I like your shot, Mark. I like kicking underneath it, whether it be you go right before the side, but you're jacked up if you go that way.
And it's a long ways to get to that kick. It's not like it's just an automatic thing. You got to hit it good.
You could maybe kick 2 rails where he's standing at that direction if you're not attached to the 12 too much to come like 3 rails underneath it. That's pretty treacherous no matter what it is. I'll tell you, if you like clipping the 12, you could try to clip the 12 and go a couple rails underneath it. You don't have to get dead underneath then. You just kind of
get it on that end.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking at your shot now, but the problem is it looks like he needs a hair of spin. So now he's jacked up with the hair of spin. Don't let up on it. It's easy to let up on this shot right here.
But you also have to calculate the masse effect into the rail, too.
Absolutely. But that's why letting up is the one that kills you.
It did. Yeah. No good. Oh,
perfect.
Okay.
Really
it was
nice.
good. I thought that was coming up above the 5.
Really nice. All right, he's not taking much time on this long railer here. Doesn't really.
I think is he 2 railing it? No. Just 1 rail. Not even close.
Boy.
He's playing cue ball and got in trouble.
Well, a little fortunate. I mean, Scott's got to roll it to stay underneath, right?
Mm-hmm.
So nothing easy. And this is the type of situation, if the ball would have went towards the 5, it may be easier for Scott, to be honest with you. With the 8 out in the middle, look at this shot. He's playing both of them towards his pocket. Cue ball over the 12. Didn't have the best speed on the 11, but what a cue ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scott recognized right away that J Hall's not going to be able to play anything offensive if he even gets anything on his side and keeps the cue ball there.
And challenge him from here. May go off the 12 over in that upper corner where those 2 pieces of chalk are. If you're looking at your screen, the top right corner over there. And just, he's going to cross the 5 on you, which is dangerous, of course, maybe, but he's still got to worry about the 6. He's got to worry about a lot of things. So
J Hall looking at banking the 13.
Yeah. Now, if he could cue it well, he can get to the left of the 11, you know, if he can cue it well. But he has to hit down on it a little bit doing that.
And with speed,
Exactly.
you have to have a lot of speed here. He can come back on,
This is the shot. You're up 2-1 in games, and very much in this game with the ball count at 5-4 in the lead. I would make Scott earn it myself. Now, what he's worrying about here is not leaving the cross on the 5. That's why he's not wanting to go all the way over. That's why he's pointing the cue there. The problem is if he doesn't get there, you're going to tempt Scott to shoot at the 13 and put the cue ball underneath the 5. Well, it looks like he got him right on that scratch, and that's what he was trying to do. So he's trying to cut him off the 5-ball bank, right? Scott's not going to get fooled. Now we'll start to see a little bit different one pocket. This is the most interesting side of the game when the balls start getting in play, and there ain't that many of them. You see the cue ball end up getting rolled out here. Oh, did you see that? Can he move the 11? Eesh. Now, Scott doesn't have another ball to shoot at and leave you up here, so that's where if you wanted to roll out right here, kind of where you had the cue ball in the last shot.
Just take the foul.
Because Scott's got to do something coming down table with the cue ball and not leave you a bank on the 11. Obviously, shots on the 5, maybe something on the 6. So what he's trying to do is not touch anything here. He's trying to hit a high left ball. Go between the 12, 11, let the English take. I think, anyways. Look at this shot. Let's move them all over there.
Wow. That was something. I thought he might billiard into that ball on the spot, but I didn't think that much movement would happen. So
he got a
cross corner.
A natural to go into the 5 with the cue ball. Now these are big shots, of course. If he doesn't make it, he may force Justin into a bank on the 11.
This is that win or lose moment of this rack. He hit it great.
He hit it beautiful.
He hit it great.
And see how confident he hit it? He didn't like slow roll into the 5. A lot of people say, oh, you know, let me guard right here. He went ahead and knew that the path going into the 5 was real solid. So why not give it a little better effort on making the ball?
Yeah.
And Justin waited a long time in this match. Played pretty tight at times. And I wouldn't say he shot a bad shot, but just not what he's done most of the match in the last one. So Freezer playing for 2. And they're there, but you can see still a lot of contest here because he didn't get near as much up on this ball as he wanted. He could cut it with a little inside, maybe get a piece of the 5 going off the rail here with the cue ball into a little sliver of the 5. Almost feels like he has to shoot that shot to me. Sitting very good with the bank. If he plays safe right here, which is what he's doing. All right, he got the ball to his side. It's still going to be, favor Justin a little bit here, even though he needs 3 and Scott needs 2. All right, the speed could have been a little better there with the cue ball. And the 13 getting across, to be honest with you. So Scott's not going to get fooled here and bank at this. He's going to shoot through the 5. Like that. Now Justin can't do much. He's got to come back with the cue ball. Watch out. Doesn't want to 3-rail this. Okay, nice shot. But all these balls are so open, they're very dangerous, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if Scott draws off the 8, trying to maybe move the 13 and the 8 upward a little bit. Playing off the 6s doesn't look like much of an option to me. He's rolling him up on the 13. He's very worried about the situation right here. Ooh, did he leave him the 5? He did. Oh, my. I think he did. I think the overhead tells us he's got a shot at the 5. And I don't think this one's going to be slow rolled, Mark.
Jay all winding up. He knows this is a huge moment here. He can kind of turn this game back his way if he can score this ball.
Most of the guys like to kind of stun this, but this is the type you could hit with a high ball as well and really get good position. He missed it.
He babied it.
Yeah. He was trying to get that good position on the 13. I would have as well. Scott looking at the cut on the 13 to see if he can shoot it with outside English and not hit the 5. He decided he can't. This is okay, but Justin's going to bank the 13 from there and ignore the 5 ball.
Bring the cue ball, if he could, between the 8 and 6.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't want to hit it that hard just because you lose accuracy. Just put him on the middle of the end rail and let him cut at the 5. Oh, he moved it a long ways. He moved it a long ways, and what a hit. Wow, he hit it with inside a little bit, Mark.
Now you just trickle this one into your hole, and you just play the 3-railer on the 8.
Not bad with
That's
a high,
all.
with a high ball.
I'm talking like, that's what you do. Like, well, but that's the shot. Executing those 2 shots is another thing. But
is he
very
coming
difficult.
twice back and forth?
No, I don't think so. He's just killing it.
There's the 3-reeler you were talking about.
tough shot. And if you're going to be a one-pocket star, you got to have a good touch on these. You should be able to get this within, 6 inches.
Yeah, just draws it up the rail just a little bit. It's going to be short. Yeah, maybe not. Ooh, there's that 6 inches you were talking about. Now Scott's got a 3-railer. He can follow the ball. He's got a 2-railer. He can just kind of shoot hard, and if he misses it, have it bank back up towards the 5. Kind of draw the ball. You shoot the 3-railer, it looks like he's going twice. I like that better. Oh, he played it light. Nothing wrong with that. And the reason why you do that is, of course, Justin needs 1, but not a real big favorite, even though he needs 1 and his opponent needs 2. He's kind of got goofy here. May have to go rail first here.
Yeah, it's a real unusual circumstance.
Yeah, he's got to hit before the side come across the 5 and bleed the cue ball across like that. Not sure what Scott's looking at there. Of course, the 5's not really playable of any sort, not even safeties wise, so you're going to do something with the 8, I would think, anyways. Can't fear the 2-railer, so you could just chop off the left side, kind of let the cue ball come up past the side. You can just come across if you want. Yeah, like right here, you can't fear that 2-railer. Even if it lays decent, just the guy sells out a lot with that 2-railer. You have a ball on your side. Now he's going to 1-rail it, so if he catches it thick, watch out for the scratch cross corner. Cut it just enough to make sure none of that's happening.
Respectable effort.
Now Scott won't get fooled by the 2-railer here. Again, just put this on his side. I almost left a 2-railer, almost. It's close.
There's the more natural 2-railer you were talking about that you can't fear leaving.
Yeah, and it's he can cue it though.
Yeah, he can win with this shot.
Yeah, this is where you kind of put. You really got to get used to putting heavy left spin, hitting it full, really throwing it. Looks like he hit it pretty sweet. So we're gonna have to see a pretty nice shot here.
Out there. Drama queen. He is funny. The freezer.
So the ball's frozen, so he's still going to have to take a little chance kicking. Oh, wow. So he's just edging this. Nice shot. Good, great touch. So Scott's like, all that work for nothing because I can't protect my 8-ball anymore. 5's not playable, so now Jay Hall can go up table with the cue ball. What's he doing here? Just making it, going rail first. Oh, no. Yeah. And the key to that shot is he just hit it too hard. If you get in there, you realize you'll hit the 5 a little thicker when you hit it, and it'll just kind of act like a thicker hit anyways because you hit it lighter, so it'll get to the side rail.
It's almost like after you go rail first, hit that ball, it picks up speed. It's the oddest thing.
Right. Really nice hit there. That cue ball easily could have come up a little more. Wow, Scott's banking at this. Wow. He's definitely not. Just considering it, but not. Uh-oh. Man. Yeah, he's just a little out of sorts, Scott. He said he was under the weather, and to be fair, some of the decisions, and because he's so sound usually, you know, I think it's affected him a little bit in this match. I mean, he usually just doesn't make that kind of mistake there.
Yeah.
You know, that's just recognizing something. That's not a mishit. That's not anything. A little drag. Oh, just rolling it. And it looks like it's going to be good enough. Well, the 8's in the kitchen.
I can go
We
on.
got action.
Yeah. And you'll learn on those kind of shots when you're pretty heavy on them, you cannot sell out.
It's not that easy to follow this one in, though, and you can't skip it off the table. You know that, right?
Yeah.
If you do, it's a foul, but the opponent gets to keep the ball this year.
Right. I like the rule for the tournament, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Yeah, he's just got to slow spin this in.
I think he's taking it.
Calderon to table
Oh,
Yeah.
he did. Okay. He was able to.
Gary Calderon to table 19, you're on the clock.
Yeah, but anyways, that kind of full shot that Jay Hall had, right? Mm-hmm. It's one thing if you're cutting it and the ball's coming across the cue ball. But anytime you're full, remember, really, really hard to sell out. Meaning you don't have to guard rolling it so light. Give yourself a little better chance by shooting it with a little more speed. Just because the full hit, it's just going to hang. It's going to get kind of like not shootable.
Yeah.
And you get a lot better chance of making the ball. Now, he's just going to push through on these.
Yeah. If the 8 wasn't there, that's not so bad. But the 8's kind of in the way of that ball coming back down table. And the arrangement of the balls favor Jay Hall so much here.
Yeah, everything.
That was not the time to be hasty.
Ball count, game score. He's going up with it. Oh, no, he's going forward. Good shot. He protected the 5. That was important.
Very positive shot.
I probably chop the 8 here and go straight back down the middle of the table. And the reason being is you'll leave him kind of kissish on the 5 if you do so. You don't leave anything on the 11. You get the 8 back on your side. You know, bank the 8 kind of to the side rail. Maybe a hair of left on it and just come straight down the middle of the table. I don't like moving the 11 just because where it's at, I kind of like it.
Oh, okay.
This is good protection.
This
though.
is, yeah. That was heady play there.
Well, anytime you're kind of like not letting them see a couple balls, that's exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks it's just about the balls near your pocket that you're trying to protect. That's actually pretty constant throughout the game.
Yeah.
That you're always trying to get those eclipses.
I mean, look at he's handcuffed Scott here. Look at this. He could sell out a bank.
Okay.
He got it. Okay. Now J-Hawk can just put the 5 on his side. He can cross it and get distance.
Exactly right. So that little shot from last time gave him this security here.
Really starts to extract the toll. Once again, Scott's in a real predicament to not give up a free shot of some kind. So much so that he may end up banking the 5 at his pocket.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll go with a high ball, scrambling the balls. Watch out for the scratch off the 11, off the 8, off the 11. Or he just scratched right through the 8. But a lot of times the guys will take a chance going forward with the cue ball with multiple balls there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you kind of lock them up, getting the ball by your hole,
Right.
or you might make the bank and get shape, especially when you're behind in the game.
But you get my drift there.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
he was sort of forced to shoot because he's going to get the
Absolutely.
worst of those free exchanges that Jay Hall earned through his heady play to get that cue ball over on the side rail.
Now, I like setting this up with a little more angle, Mark, the way the 5 is, and going forward to the back rail and just kind of mildly kicking the 5 out as I shoot this.
I agree.
He's going to do that, but with less angle, kind of stunning into the ball, I think. But he's drawing it, actually. This is even more dangerous as far as the sellout.
Yeah, it makes the spot shot harder.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah, we
drained
see
it.
how the cue ball came out. So we're going to lose Freezer for the 2023 one pocket, but he'll be back for the 9-ball.
Hard-fought contest there, much like we anticipated. ACCUSTATS wants to thank everyone for joining us today as we have continuing coverage throughout the Derby City Classic. That is our time for this one. So long for just a while.